Hi friends, my name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to be playing for you a full piano cover of the song Peaches Etude by FINNEAS. And then after that, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks so that you can learn how to play this song just like FINNEAS does. All right, let's get into it. Alright everybody, so I hope you enjoyed that song. That was a really fun one to play. Now in today's video, I'm not going to be doing a full step-by-step tutorial through each of the sections because I think you can kind of get an idea of the chords and the notes that are being played by watching that song preview I just played. But I still wanted to give some tips and tricks of what I like to do to play this song and to help you learn how to play it and make it sound more like the original. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to remind you that if you're getting any value out of today's video or if you're enjoying it, I'd really appreciate it if you dropped a like or left a comment. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Those are just all small things that you can do to help support me and my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you for that. All right, so let's get started here. So we're going to start here with the left hand, and you'll notice that in the left hand, we're going to be playing this arpeggio pretty much the entire song. Just like this. And all this is going to be pretty simple. So what we're doing here, take for instance our D chord, we have our 1, 3, 5, right? So all we're doing is we're breaking it up and playing it like this. 1, 5, 1, and then we go 3, 5, and then go back down. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, right? Just like that. Same thing for every other chord. So for instance, here on the G chord, this is like 1, 3, 5, G, B, and D. Here we're just gonna go 1, 5, 1, and then 3, 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, just like that. And so that's just gonna be the pattern that you're gonna be playing throughout the song. Now you'll notice here that sometimes I like to play it like this, where I play starting with the pinky, going up, and then I play this next D with my thumb and then cross over here and then cross under right there. So going from the D to the F sharp, that's when I do the crossover. Like that. But sometimes I like to play it like this. And And you'll notice there, I'm not crossing over until I reach the 4th note, and instead I'm playing pinky, 3rd, 2nd, and then my thumb, and then just crossing over for that last note. So I like to mix it up based on the chord that I'm playing. Like for instance, if I try to do that here on the D chord, it's really awkward going up from this thumb and crossing your whole hand over to the A, like that. Like that's really awkward. Yeah, it just doesn't work as well. But doing this feels a lot more natural. So do whatever feels most comfortable for you. I like to mix it up like I was saying. Lots of times if I'm only playing white keys, I'll just do this, because I feel like I can play it smoother than doing a crossover earlier like this. It's just personal preference, but yeah, that's just a quick tip for you. Another thing here in the left hand that I want you to be aware of is that this song has a lot of rubato, and what that means is that we're not going to be strictly adhering to the set tempo for the entire song, but it's going to be a little more free-flowing. And you hear that in the left hand, where this first note that we're going to be playing, the downbeat, we usually extend it out a little bit more, and then as we go through the rest of the arpeggio, we speed up a little bit. So it'll be like longer, and then we'll have faster notes in between. It's just a really subtle thing, like here on this A minor. To the E minor. You see, it's just something very subtle, but it adds a lot to the song. All right, so now looking at the right hand is pretty straightforward. We're pretty much just going to be playing one note at a time for most of the song. But then in the second half of the song, we're playing octaves like the entire time. And that could be a little tricky, especially if you're kind of newer to the piano. So a couple tips now for that. One thing that can be really tricky when playing all octaves in the right hand or whatever is the big jumps that you have. If you're playing notes that are close together, it's not as bad, but if you're doing big jumps, those big jumps can be really tricky when you're keeping your hand the exact same shape the whole time. So one thing I like to do to kind of make that a little bit easier is to think ahead and plan out when you're going to be, like when you know you have a big jump. So for instance, let's take a look at that start of the second half of the song. That part sounds like this. So what I do there, you see we're going A, F sharp, D, C sharp, and then we go lower A, and then we jump all the way up to this upper A to start that second line. That can be a little tricky. So what I like to do is play the first part. Immediately after I play the C sharp, I'm already thinking about moving down to this A. So you see my hand is already here, prepared to play this note. And then after I play this lower A, I'm already thinking about moving up to this top A. Thinking about moving down, and now I gotta move up. So then when I get to this A here in the thumb, that's when I play my A here in the right hand as well. I'm already there and I'm not jumping all the way up. Now, of course, this takes practice and you're not going to get it exactly right the first time, but as you play the song, you can kind of think ahead and see what's coming next, and that can help you with big jumps like that. All right, so one last thing here in the right hand. If you listen to the original song, you'll notice that he doesn't always play these octaves perfectly straight with the thumb and the pinky perfectly synchronized like this, but lots of times instead he'll do just a very slight roll up, playing the thumb just a fraction of a second before that pinky. Like that, you see, it's just, but sped up, right? And that's just something that you can do to add a little bit more dimension to the playing there. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. For instance, here at the end of the song, we're playing this. Let me play it first if you just play straight, notes here in the right hand without the roll up that sounds like this. Like, that sounds great, that sounds fine, it's nice, but it can sound a lot better if you just do this little thing to add a little bit more dimension, like I was saying. You see, it's a very small, subtle thing, but it can add a lot. Anyways, that's all I've got for you in today's tutorial. Hope that helped you learn the song, and let me know down in the comments if you have any specific questions for me. Thanks. Hey friends, hope you enjoyed that video. If you have a song you'd like to suggest for me, let me know down in the comments, and remember to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you're new. Have a great rest of your day. See you next time.